Friends, before I introduce to you the main speaker of this event, let me briefly share a few thoughts with you. The national education policy, it encourages our students to be creative and innovative. And you know that 2/3 of India's population consists of young people. And many of them, when they come out of the colleges and universities, they take up different professions. But it is quite possible that many of these young, talented students may ultimately become great authors and writers. Can we identify such talent among our student community, among our young population of our country? There could be students and teachers across the higher educational system in our country. Can we identify them? Can we mentor them? Can we provide the opportunities to showcase their talent? That is the idea with which the PM YUVA scheme was launched on 31st May 2021. And this was launched as part of our Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. And the theme of this PM YUVA, when it was launched for the first time in 2021, the theme was the national movement of India with a focus on unsung heroes. Well, why did we come up with this PM YUVA scheme? The idea behind is that the 21st century India needs to groom a generation of authors and writers so that they will become the ambassadors of Indian literature and contribute to the worldview. This is the reason why we have launched it. And the first PM YUVA scheme was extremely successful, with thousands of young people participating from across the country and submitting their write-ups in 22 Indian languages besides English. Keeping that success in our mind, knowing the fact that there are highly talented authors and writers among our young population of our country, the government has launched the second version of PM YUVA, and we are calling it PM YUVA 2.0, and the theme now is democracy in the Indian context. And the last date for submission of the write-ups is 15th January 2023. Friends, you know that India is not just the largest democracy in the world. As our Honorable Prime Minister has often mentioned, India is the mother of democracy in the world. Keeping that in view, recently, in collaboration with the Indian Council for Historical Research, UGC has arranged a large number of lectures across the country in our higher educational institutions, emphasizing how, going back to hundreds of thousands of years into our history in India, how democracy is deep-rooted in our culture, in our civilization. And that's the reason why for PM YUVA 2.0, the theme is democracy in the Indian context. And we hope that through this PM YUVA 2.0 opportunity, a stream of young writers will write on various facets of democracy in India, encompassing past, present, and future. In addition, this scheme will also provide a window to the aspiring youth to articulate themselves and present a comprehensive outlook of Indian democratic values on domestic as well as the international platforms. We hope that this year too, thousands of students from across the country, thousands of young people from across the country will participate in PM YUVA 2.0. The National Book Trust India has been entrusted with the responsibility of implementing this scheme. And I'm happy that today we have Shri Yuvaraj Malik, who is the Director of National Book Trust. Let me welcome Shri Malik to this program. And he will be talking about the implementation, execution, the selection procedure of the young authors, mentorship schedule, scholarship, and many more details to encourage you to inform the young people in your educational institutions. It could be staff members, it could be teachers, it could be students to participate in this PM YUVA 2.0 in large numbers. While I welcome all of you on this platform and all those who are watching live on our social media platforms, let me extend a warm welcome to Shri Yuvaraj Malik to make his presentation.
Namaskar, very good afternoon. Respected Chairman UGC, Professor Jagdish, other esteemed participants, dignitaries, people from the academia, and other personalities who have joined us online. Thank you so much for this grand opportunity to be given for NBT to take our schemes to the wider audience. As Sir has very rightly brought out two aspects about our country. One is the youth element, the youth quotient, what we have. We need to capitalize on the capabilities of our youth and provide them the platform where they can grow and become the future writers, and they can play an important role in nation building through their writing skills and through their knowledge dissemination and contribution. Another important aspect which Sir has brought out is democracy. We are celebrating 75th year of independence, and as he has brought out, we are not only the biggest and the oldest democracy, we are also the mother of democracy. When we have two such a wonderful elements, if we connect them, this is the whole background of the scheme which we are hosting for this year. Going back 1 year down the line, in 2021, when Honorable Prime Minister announced that the youth of the nation should know about their war heroes, they should know about their freedom fighters, they should know about their nation builders, and he announced a scheme, PM YUVA 1.0, that stands for Young, Upcoming, Versatile Authors who can write about their great heroes and people who have contributed in nation building and freedom movement. And that's how the first scheme was launched, where we invited applications in all 22 languages of the schedule of the Constitution and also in English. Once these entries were collected, a complete 3-layer process was initiated, and we selected 75 young authors. You'll be happy to know that out of these 75, more than 39 were girls, and majority of them were below 21 years of age. We had a perception that we are going to have the age bracket primarily onto the higher side, that was 25 to 30, but that was the least segment selected naturally, organically, in a least number, and the majority was dominating from 18 till 25. Second aspect, which was that we received entries almost in all the Indian languages, and we got a very good pool of young writers whose books are ready now. They will be released in the upcoming edition of New Delhi World Book Fair on 25th of February 2023. And these books will be in public domain with the due release functions will be organized. Why I want to mention all these things is that if you go across anywhere in the world, such a large scale literary exercise in so many languages has never happened. And this is the response we received in 2 months, and we have come up with wonderful books, and especially the topics and the people which was never thought of, never discussed, and totally to the oblivion of history. So that has been a great satisfying element for us. Now, based on this success, again, YUVA 2.0 was launched, for which we started it on 2nd of October and the closing date is 15th of January. In this process, all, all youths who are below 13 years on 2nd October, they are eligible to participate. There is no criteria of education, qualification or profession. It's only the age element wherein people can participate in any of these Indian languages which are in the schedule 8, all 22 and English. Once they make an entry, they have to go to MyGov platform, which is a collaboration which we are exploring. And in that, they can go and upload their entries, which will be evaluated in a 3-tier process. First, at the local jury, at the organization level, an expert jury, subject jury at the national level, and finally, the final national jury meeting wherein the selection will be made. Now, the important aspect about this is that there is no quota system. That particular number of entries in particular number of language will be selected. Merit will be on quality of the content and the ability of the proposal to stand as a book. Second aspect which is important in this is the topic is democracy. When I say democracy, it's the core element. Past, present, future is one of the imperative. Not only this, the writers, the authors, they are free to explore the other derivative themes, which can be like history of democracy in India, democracy and judiciary, democracy and media, democracy in social empowerment, economic empowerment, political empowerment, panchayati raj system, democracy and foreign relations. So it is the ability of the writer how he can explore his topic in what domain. Only concern is that perspective should be in the center of gravity should be Indian perspective. The writers are free. Once they upload their entries, we will evaluate them. And after this selection, there will be a national meeting carried out in the month of Feb and March. And in April, the interviews and selections will be carried out. And May, the result will be announced. So once these 75 people are selected, they will undergo 6 months of training, which will involve experts from all languages and also the subjects which they are going to take up in their participation module. One person can make only one entry. There is a restriction to it, and those who have already availed the scholarship are not eligible to participate in the next edition. So that maximum number of people can be groomed. So once these are selected, this mentorship period will go. We will provide them all kind of logistic support, connectivity with local libraries, local institutions, experts, domain experts, and also the national mentors, the jury team, which we have. This 6 months of program will be spread over weekends and regular trainings will be carried out in different modules. More than this, once the books are ready for publication, we are going to pay 10% royalty to the authors. So these are some of the things which I thought I must share with you about this scheme. Important point to mention here is that there is no space for fiction in this and also poetry. And also some of the people had queries which usually come up that it should not be in question answer format, that we cut copy question answers from different contents and put into the assembly format. So that's not how it has to be original work and duly vetted and followed the process. Coming back to this spectrum of participation again, once these entries have been received, we will be following the categorization system. And as and when the queries come, we will be approaching, because when we evaluate the script, we are not having any data of the applicant. We are only having the manuscript to ensure that there is adequate transparency and there is adequate commitment to the evaluation process. So only in the final stage, we will be connecting both the script and the applicant. When we apply, 3 aspects are there. First, there will be a chapter plan, which you have to give in 1 or 2 pages. Around 2,000 words of synopsis to understand the complete purview of the book, the scope of the book, and around 8 to 10,000 of words in the form of 1 or 2 chapters, which the author will be submitting in a type format. All these guidelines are already available on MyGov portal. The only way to apply is MyGov portal. There is no need to send a hard copy or an email to National Book Trust. National Book Trust is the nodal agency, but the mode of application is through MyGov platform only. I repeat, the applications are received only through MyGov platform only, and all the guidelines are applicable, available easily on the portal. Once this process is over, this selection is made, the process like we have followed for YUVA 1.0, 2.0 will also follow. We'll produce this book, do all the kind of editing and publishing work, bring out for people, due release functions will be organized, and these books will be open in open market. And all those rules and regulations which are applicable to previous scheme will continue for YUVA 2.0 as well. And now what do we expect from you? You all are directly connected with academia, intelligentsia, people who are into the profession of reading and writing and directly in the process of knowledge disseminations. First, we expect that you can percolate this information so that maximum number of people are educated about it, and those who are interested, they may participate in. Also, some of the people who are good, but they are raw in their talent can be groomed and guided with under your able leadership. You can give them mentorship at initial level and guide them to participate. And most importantly, just convey them that we are not looking for ready-made authors who are furnished and who are ready to just deliver. We are looking for raw material in terms of content and talent in terms of people. So this raw material as content and talent in terms of people is what we exactly want. We are not looking for a ready-made book proposal. We are looking for a possibility of a proposal that we converted into a book with required skills. For example, do the content have any relevance? Is the applicant got basic sense of writing? Do they have small understanding about the entire process of writing a book? Do they have understanding about research? So that basic understanding is required. They may not be fully groomed. That is our job to give their skills a new destination, a new platform where they can be developed for future authors and they can write for decades and generations for the country. These are the brief things I've covered. Now, if there are queries about the project, so I'll be happy to answer to that. We have our number, this is helpline number, one helpline email also that can be shared in the chat box right now. And if anybody has, they can fall back to these numbers. So any queries, if esteemed members have, I'm happy to reply.
Thank you. You were actually a very comprehensive presentation. Any of the audience has any question, you can electronically raise your hand. Then I would unmute you. If you have any questions, you can write the email or call the phone number. Are there any specific subjects on which they have to write? Well, the theme is already mentioned. That is democracy and India. That's the theme. All aspects of democracy are present in the future. And it has to be in the Indian context. That is the theme. Our request is that you please go back from this program and ensure that this information is passed on to the your educational institutions and encourage them to participate. So I'm just looking at the chat box. Well, it's like my voice is not clear. So again, one more question, the same question, is there any specific subject to write? The specific subject is democracy in the Indian context. And is there any more for the writing? Yuvraj, could you please answer that?
Sir, your audio is not very clear, sir.
Sir, may I intercept, sir?
Yes.
Sir, your voice is not clear, so I would like to add on what sir has said. The topic is democracy, people, institutions, and constitutional values. This is a broad spectrum. Other than that, if you want to write on particular, facet of democracy and elaborate it as a book, that is also most welcome. There's no specific topic, only theme has been given. Again, if you go to the instructions, you'll find more than 15 sub-themes. They are also only indicative and suggestive in nature. They are also not the topics. You can pick up any one of them or anything with your creativity you want to work and research upon, that you are free to take on. But the context has to be democracy and in one or the other way connected with the Indian perspective. Somebody asked about raw material. When we say raw material, the book proposal is not a complete book. This will be the first stage where we are going to select. This will undergo a lot of changes. That's why we call it raw inputs or the raw material, where we are selecting people based on its evaluation. So it is not that you have to send us material. It is the proposal which you are sending in whatever format. It is in raw format because when we will groom you and mentor you, this has to undergo some changes and a final book has to come in slightly different format after the mentorship period.
And for the proposal, what is the word limit? That was the question asked. What is the word limit? Could you repeat?
Word limit maximum.
Sir, word limit is generally there's no specific word limit, but generally 70 to 80,000 words is what
7 to 8.
We expect as a full book proposal.
7 to 8,000 words.
Sir, the application, I repeat, the proposal is total 10,000 words, which has three parts. First part is chapter plan, 1 or 2 pages. Second part is the synopsis, around 2,000 words. And third part is the chapter plans, maybe one chapter of 4,000, 5,000 word each. Maximum is 10,000 words.
Right. Thank you.
All three components are mandatory so that we can understand the complete concept of the book.
Right. I think there are no more questions because the presentation is very clear. The objectives are very clear. And we hope that this time the PM YUVA 2.0 will also become highly successful. I would like to thank Shri Yuvaraj Malik for making a brief presentation on this. With those comments, I would like to conclude here. Thank you. Thank you very much.